Okay, so for our third blog, it had a lot to do with convergence. And, we had talked about it in class, and then I had looked it up in our textbook, and, it talks about reinvention of business and how it can threaten the existence of traditional forms of media. So I thought that was, kind of connects in with all of our other blogs that we've talked about so far. And, I thought the questions that we had to answer were quite interesting. So, the first question having to do with is convergence forcing us to change the way we interact? I think it is, because media and technology, with all the advances that they have in it, it just makes the way we communicate with people professionally, socially, physically, it changes how we communicate with people. And, with phones, instead of going and seeing someone to talk to them now, you just text them or call them. Most people text. And businesses, it makes everything so much more faster, so people aren't taking the time to pick up a phone and call if they have questions. It's, let me send an email out, or let me text them a quick message. I mean, sometimes they do use phones still, but I think technology and the advances are, really they are threatening communication skills. And especially with, businesses and socially, because it can hurt both of those with technology advances. So the second question had to do with opportunities and options convergence can bring to consumers. And I thought that it had a lot to do with, it makes things a lot more faster and efficient, because instead of, when we were in elementary school or middle school and we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have iPads or Kindles or laptops, you really had to work on your communication, and not just on communication, but you had to wait to get things. So I think some of the opportunities it does bring to us with changing media and, stuff like that, it may bring us back a bit to having to communicate better with people, but it also gives us things a little bit easier. And media doesn't always have a positive effect on things, but it always, you can always find the information you're looking for anywhere. You can go online to find it, and if it's something that has to do with a class, you can, email your professor, you can text someone in your class, you can, go online to the school's library online and find your information. And I think that part of media and the way we're converging into the new forms of media, that's good. But at the same time, it does hurt people, going back to the first question, because it's forcing us to change the way we interact with people that we know. So that I see as a little bit of a problem. But, it does make things a little more faster and efficient for the consumer, like ourselves. And going on to the last questions of challenges it can bring to content producers and content providers. I think one of the main challenges that, traditional forms of media could be, instead of being able to find something on the news or having to go look for things, the new forms of media that we're integrating our lives into makes it a little easier for places like Fox News or ABC or NBC or CBS or MSNBC to put the information right out onto Twitter or Facebook for people to find. But at the same time, then these people have the information right at their fingertips, so they don't really have the need to watch that TV show or, read a newspaper. And I think that can form a challenge to certain forms of media, and that, can be why newspapers and books and magazines aren't as popular today as they were when we were younger, because we have everything at our fingertips, and these new forms of media are making it a lot easier for us to have what we want right away, so we don't have to, be in elementary school and take a book out of the library but wait a week to take it back and get a new one. So it has its pros and its cons of new forms of media, but at the same time it's taking a bit away of the traditional sense of finding information and being able to grasp it and or watch it or learn about it. And I think that can be posing some challenges. But overall, Convergence does show some positive effects on society and businesses and relationships, but at the same time, convergence with media can be quite harmful to the public. Alright, that's all for now.